Peace, family, peace, family, peace, family, you know what I'm saying? July 19th on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday, yo. So check it, right? I got some things I want to say, get off my chest, you know what I'm saying? It was around January 15th, 2025, and I was in the crib, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to City Hall, but some shit done happened. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Distracted me, and one thing led to another, you know what I'm saying? But I was sitting back, I was talking to my kinfolks. He was like, protect family, protect family. Family is very fucking important. You gotta protect family. So the whole time while I was sitting in Cook County Jail, I didn't call nobody from January to motherfucking May. Yeah, it was really like that. But motherfucker was sending me money though. But I wasn't replying. I didn't write home. I didn't, you know what I'm saying, make phone calls to nobody. I was sitting myself. You know what I'm saying? Going through all the emotions you could go through, thinking it was all over, that I was done with, that I just dropped the ball, let everybody down. That's how I really felt. I let y'all down. I ain't gonna even sugarcoat this shit. I was upset with myself, very, very upset with myself that I let the collective down. So, I'm sitting there, talking to my state of not state attorney, but talking to the public defender, right? You don't know what a public defender is when you can't get no goddamn lawyer. You go to the state for a public defender. So that's where I went to, and he's talking about, I'm telling about the case. I'm like, well, the Second Amendment have a right to bear arms, and he say, listen, um, is you on this Moorish American ordeal? I'm not a Moorish American, but I'm a Moor. You know what I'm saying? Um, he was like, you need to stop all these idiotical ideas. Idiotical. But first of all, I'm not a dumb individual. I'm not an idiot. Idiotical ideas. I need to stop it with these idiot ideas. And that's when it really hit me. And I woke back up like, yo, it's war. And I was very upset. I was highly upset. And I wasn't content with letting him defend me. So the next time I had court, I said, yo, Judge, because at that time I wasn't calling him Your Honor. I say, Judge, I want to fire my club defender. Um, he don't have my best interest at heart, and I could defend myself. So I think from May all the way till August, I defended myself, and I was going head to head. I even got the judge. He resigned. You know what I'm saying? Because man, I was on that bumper. You know what I'm saying? Um, for them not following the Constitution that they wrote. I didn't write this. You wrote this. I wasn't even alive when y'all voted, or was I? But nobody on this planet agreed to that Constitution because it's outdated for one. So I was like, you know, you guys not even abide by your own laws and statutes and regulations. But the one thing that got dumb, so I told him, I say, and this will make him resign. I say, if you're going off common law, are we going off maritime, amity law? Oh, what type of laws are we going off of? If he say we're going off the Illinois statute, I say um, statutory law isn't in the Constitution, so that's illegal within itself. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he didn't want to drop the case. I should have been home then. You know, they were like, oh well. Before he resigned, he was like, you got to go take a mental health evaluations. Like, now you think I'm fucking insane. I am insane, but not that insane. That I don't know the truth. And that's what really got him. Like, yo, okay, he got us. So I passed the mental health evaluation, but I'm sitting there the whole time talking to my kinfolks. He say, you know, you can take it to trial, you can lose. They talking about 12 years and 85%. And I'm like, man, I could do that. I could do 12. But the movement can't slow down because who gonna pick it up? So I say, you know what? I can't beat y'all in this courtroom. That's my thought. You know what I'm saying? Now, even if you do time, I would have lost trial, took the time, went for appeal. Appeal gonna take 2 years, and you still might not. So I'm like, you know what? Y'all got it. And that's why I said with myself. And even though I did not want to, I said I'm gonna bow out, and y'all can win this battle. Cause you understand that wars are about battles. You know what I'm saying? Um, you win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. So I have another day, and I say, you know what? I say they threw the public defender back on me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I passed the mental health evaluation, they said, yo, you not fit to represent yourself. I said, but in your constitution, I can't represent myself, but he can be a part of my council. Whatever. Cool. So I put his little punk ass back on my team, let him represent me. He really wasn't representing me, he was just my mouthpiece. Because I'm like, yo, what's the deal? You know what I'm saying? This was around October. You know what I'm saying? So he told me, he said, you know, what you want? I say, look, you give me 4 or 5 and 50. I take that shit right now and slide. Now the reason I say 4 or 5 because my first case, like time I did it, my first bid, I took 3 and 50 on the gun case. They're not going to give you 3 or any less than your last one, so you gotta go up. So I say, all right, give me 4 or 5 and 50. You know what I'm saying? November came around. I say, what they got? He say 5 and 50. Now I would have said another month. But I was like, I ain't trying to be in there for Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's horrible in county. Shit. You do not want to be in that bitch at all. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, I didn't have no bail. I had the bail money, but they would give me motherfucker no bonds. So I'm like, shit, let me get them out of here. That's another thing too. Illinois, you gotta start getting people back bonds. Cook County need to start getting back people bonds. Like, we got the money to get out, but y'all just ain't giving us no bonds. So I was like, give me 5 and 50. You know what I'm saying? And as I had a game plan, I knew what I wanted, knew how I wanted to get there. You know what I'm saying? So we got there. You know what I mean? And you know, it was a fun experience. You know what I'm saying? We had so many people up in there that's, you know, I met a cat named Goku, you know, high vibrational on the same shit I'm on. Met another cat named Sabu, you know, the same shit I'm on. You know what I'm saying? So we just on teaching, educating, uplifting the brothers, putting them, you know, on game. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like all the CEOs knew me in that bitch. They showed me love. Everybody showed me love. You know what I'm saying? And it was a fun experience. But, you know, but there was a point where I was like, you hear that 12 or 85 and you say, shit, you know what I'm saying? I just knew, like, you know, people like, don't do it. They told me don't do that. Don't do that. They're like, don't do it. I'm like, I got to speak my truth. You know what I'm saying? And not just for me, but everybody that showed up for the relatives that had court that day heard me speak in court on what I felt and what I felt wasn't just and how, you know, they wrote the Constitution and those didn't abide by it. So how you want me to abide by the Constitution that you wrote? I had no say in, but you don't want to abide by it or hold it. That just ain't cool, you know. So at the end of the day, we here. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, I got some more notes, you know what I'm saying, that I mailed off. You know, and I made copies and copies and copies of notes, you know. And at the same time, while I'm representing myself, I'm writing a book. I'm still writing music. You know what I'm saying? And that was the crazy thing about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's all good. It's all love. We back. We here. You know, but I think that is just something that, you know, we need bonds back. You know, we need them to pass that bill. That's another thing too. When I am selected in office, you know, anybody got 85%, all that gonna be dropped down to 50%. You know, 50%ers, you know what I'm saying, they have your time or you get kicked out, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna help you rehabilitate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Free education programs, job training programs, get you a job, help you get back to society the right way. And let's please stop calling everybody a menace to society. You know, that they want to call everybody a menace to society. That's how they keep us in there. You're a menace to society. No, you motherfuckers are the menace to society. If anything, shit, I'm what society needs. Shit, how the fuck I want to be a menace to society and I'm kicking all this knowledge to my people and everybody else to uplift the planet? Huh. But I love y'all, man. Keep your head up. Enjoy your day.